All right, so I am going to go ahead and get started with today's program. All right, so like I was saying, welcome back to the program, everybody. My name is Adrienne Alese. The name of the program is called It's a Conspiracy, but It Ain't No Theory. I hope everybody is enjoying their week so far. Welcome back to the program, everybody. Good morning to all of my viewers, listeners, and Soul Tribe family. The name of this program is called It's a Conspiracy, but It Ain't No Theory. This is episode number 37. I can't believe I'm already on episode number 37. On today's episode, I'm going to be discussing gang stalking plus surviving the New World Disorder per usual, surviving manufactured chaos, surviving manufactured karma. My name is Adrienne Alese. I am the author and creator of a book trilogy called Lucy's Lair, Part 1, 2, and 3. Lucy's Lair is a book trilogy reflecting my life as a survivor of rape culture, child sex trafficking, and psychological gas chambers. On this program, I advocate for women's rights, basic human rights, and the rights of those disabled. I also advocate on behalf of the foster children in the CPS system, orphans, single mothers, foster mothers, and those less fortunate. This program is a dedication to the targeted individual community. I'm a basic human rights advocate, and on this show I advocate for my rights to freedoms such as thought, my mind. I am free to think without having my thoughts manipulated or used against me as a form of punishment. Emotions, my emotions. I have the right not to have my emotions manipulated. Speech. I am free to speak. Body, my body. I am free to empower my body, my choice. Space, my space. I am free to exist. Time, my time. I am free to spend my time however I choose. Finances, my money. I am free to thrive financially. Expression, I am free to express myself however I choose. Spirituality, my faith-based beliefs. I am free to believe in myself and whatever else I choose. My love, I love God, myself, and others. I am free to love whatever I choose. Privacy, my privacy. I am free to take legal action in the event that my privacy is violated. Protection. I am free to protect myself and my rights as I choose. Focusing today primarily on the gang stalking hypersimulation, the occult's obsession with satanic sacrifice, and a little bit about meta modeling. So just really quick, a meta model. The meta model in neurolinguistic programming refers to making the target question their common beliefs. It jeopardizes target's safety by violating their basic human rights, right to privacy and protection, disturb target's core values, and distort the target's positive outlook on life. The meta model in neurolinguistic programming is intended to make targets question their perception of reality or worldview. The meta model is the computer program you watch online that is socially engineering you and exploiting you and your data. Mimicking, mirroring, mocking, and reframing, or straight up fabricating an entire false narrative, but doing this to emotionally manipulate using known stimuli performed by a paid state actor, also known as the meta model. The meta model is the computer program socially engineering you using AI, computer network operations, and agents in action, performing neurolinguistic programming, otherwise known as street theater. The meta model, or examples of a meta model on BitChute, is pretty much anybody that is sponsored by the state and or the government, undercover disinformation agents working for the CIA, and also mainstream media, entertainment, and foot soldiers, boots on ground, patrolling, so-called patrolling, and pretty much all of them not discussing these facts and details. The facts and details aren't trivial. It's the defining difference between a truth and a lie. The meta model's job online, on the device, in mainstream media, in the news, in the newspaper, on podcasts, on live streams, on social media, in politics, in movies, in shows, in blogs, in vlogs, in comics, in stand-up comedy, in music, in books, in AI advertisements, and on the streets, and in every form of entertainment, and on every street outlet or channel. The job is to dehumanize the target via electromagnetic neuroscience, neurolinguistic programming, in other words, to inflict as much pain and suffering humanely possible without leaving any marks all day, every day, then reframe the situation and play the victim to maximize stress by mimicking real victims, facilitating a psychological gas chamber, facilitating an electronic holocaust. This is extremely concerning to me because I've invested in the future, being that I'm a mother. All right, so the meta model exploits human vulnerability by weaponizing a person's attention, mind, poisoning the mind, or priming the ego for sabotage. Meta models use your attention to psychologically attack you by focusing exclusively on all of your every negative detail and or insecurities. Attacking all five senses, hearing, sight, smell, touch, and taste, completely stripping away free will, provoking an emotional response in an attempt to mind control, synthetic mental illness and forced reform, reprogramming the victim until the victim's will to live bends or breaks, and the will of the mind also bends or breaks, completely redefining what it means to be human and to have a human experience. The meta model's job is to simulate you, every single thing about you. It's a mockery of you and what it means to be and have a human experience. It's a mock of God and the children of God. In this new world disorder, with all of this advanced technology and all of these mind-controlling spirits, be careful and be mindful. All right. Let's get started. I'm so excited to finish today's program because I have been stopped at every opportunity. So the weirdest thing happened as I was doing this video. Matter of fact, I lost some of my video footage. I lost a lot of it actually, and because the second half of many of my videos glitched and just so happened to go blank, my whole video was unable to be processed. So I'm very, very, very excited to finish today's program because I know how important it is to me. Welcome back to the program, everybody. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the program, everybody. Good morning to all of my viewers, listeners, and Soul Tribe family. The name of this program is called It's a Conspiracy, But It Ain't No Theory. The name of this program is called It's a Conspiracy, But It Ain't No Theory. This is episode number 37. On today's episode, I'm going to be discussing gang stalking, plus surviving the New World Disorder per usual, surviving manufactured chaos, surviving manufactured karma. My name is Adrienne Alese. I am the author and creator of a book trilogy called Lucy's Lair, Part 1, 2, and 3. Lucy's Lair is a book trilogy reflecting my life as a survivor of rape culture, child sex trafficking, and psychological gas chambers. On this program, I advocate for women's rights, basic human rights, and the rights of those disabled. I also advocate on behalf of the foster children in the CPS system, orphans, single mothers, foster mothers, and those less fortunate. This program is a dedication to the targeted individual community. Alright, so in this New World disorder, with all of this advanced technology and all of these mind-controlling spirits, nothing is a coincidence. Pray to God for victory over mind-controlling spirits online and in the flesh. If all they can do is watch, that is a pretty sweet victory in my opinion. Pray to God for real spiritual leaders who speak truth for free from the heart and soul. Truth tellers aren't likely to sell truth. Liars do that. Watch out for culture vultures and online influencers who are just, quote, looking out for their people. Alright, so I'm going to be going over how these gang stalkers have been facilitating a psychological gas chamber, amongst many other things, but I'm going to try to stay on cue today because I've had a lot of technical difficulties that have been throwing me off and derailing my program and my show, as that is more or less the idea, the goal, and the intention. So in this New World disorder, with all of this advanced technology and all of these mind-controlling spirits, be mindful, nothing is a coincidence.
Trouble. The matchmaker will find a good husband for her. It is Mulan I worry about. They'll call her a witch. It's time you talk to her.
Do you know why the phoenix sits at the entrance of our shrine? She is the emissary of our ancestors.
But I broke her.
Some say the phoenix is consumed by flame and emerges again. I think she can survive a broken wing. Your chi is strong, Mulan. But chi is for warriors, not daughters. Soon you'll be a young woman, and it is time for you to hide your gift away, to silence its voice. I say this to protect you. That is my job. Your job is to bring honor to the family. Do you think you can do that?
So, well, one of the reasons why I was forced to start this program is so that I can show how these psychological operations and these evil mind controlling spirits are taking the form in the flesh in my waking life.
It is Mulan I worry about. They'll call her a witch.
I am unable to do pretty much anything on my technological device.
Do you know why the phoenix sits at the entrance of our shrine? She is the emissary of our ancestors.
But I broke her.
Some say the phoenix is consumed by flame and emerges again. I think she can survive a broken wing. Your chi is strong, but chi is for warriors, not daughters. Soothed by flame, and it emerges again. You too. Hide your gift away, to silence its voice.
Without getting harassed, basically tortured, electronically tortured. So online influencers who are just looking out for their people, they likely don't even have any kids. This is just them overcompensating for being and having nothing. Wanting ownership over said imaginary people is a major red flag, and that is crazy. They don't have any people. I belong to God. I'm a child of God. I don't belong to an employee working part-time at Burger King. And I'm glad not to be one of your, quote, people, okay? Because that's child trafficking and human trafficking mentality, so...
Mulder, when a terrorist bomb threat is called in, the rational purpose of providing that information is to allow us to find the bomb. The rational object of terrorism is to promote terror. The rational object of terrorism is to promote terror. The rational object of terrorism is to promote terror.
All right, so just to try to pick up right where I left off, I know it's been a week or two. I recently relocated. As I was in transit from the hotel that I was staying at, that I was being tortured, literally, to death. Well, that's the idea. The stage is set for pre-crime daily in an attempt. This is attempted premeditated murder. So don't ever get it twisted. So on my way from the old place to the new place, I was run off the street Friday, May 12th at 11:15 a.m. roughly. So as you guys can see on the reel and in the video footage here, I have caught the so-called community-based agents using a SIACT vehicle to perform street theater along with the ambulance or the ER vehicle as well there. And because I catch this footage, there's a lot of blackmailing, okay? There's no other way to put it. So, but I've gone back here and I have put the time and date so my viewers, listeners, and Soul Tribe family can basically see how meticulous and premeditated this whole psyop has been since the jump. So it's really, really interesting because, like I've already said, I'm going to court. I'm going to sue my government, absolutely 110% hands down. And I am aware that that also includes the judge that is going to be doing or hearing the basically the case manager, the case. So that includes the judge. I'm aware of that, and so the judge is definitely a part of this. And all I can do at this point is pray. And so I am definitely going to court. I am going to ask for a lot of money in restitutions. Okay, I don't want to say how much because I don't want to sound crazy or anything like that, but it is my opinion that that my gang stalkers don't have any of their own money. That money that they profited by exploiting me is actually mine. So yeah, it is really interesting because, like I've mentioned this several times before, how I'm going to court and how this court case is already getting so much attention, and how I'm really shocked that nobody has approached me other than to torture me electronically and torture me by means of malicious harassment and stalking. Nobody has approached me at all to see about settling this outside of court. They actually think that they're going to keep doing this. They actually think. Y'all, I can't get real with these things. Look, here they are in this street, straight up trying to run Jaron over, which is something they do regularly, religiously. So in any case, you can see how these attacks, or this attack cycle, is set up. You can see how all of this sexual harassment by proxies is also being arranged. They are using their vehicles to sexually harass me by proxy. Of course, because you can't sexually harass somebody legally. That's illegal, right? And if your whole job, if the whole idea is to make this person appear to be crazy, well then, yeah, every single last bit of it is going to happen, or have to happen, by proxies. All right, so that way it's plausibly deniable. It's easy to deny. And it is interesting because this is only happening as a way to discredit my word. When it comes down to it, you have a legion of traffickers working in our government, corrupt politicians, exploiting every single person on this planet. Verse that word, that corrupt word, that word that doesn't even belong here, you know. It's like, get out of here, bro. Like, seriously, you have that word against somebody who's dedicated their life to advocating against these tragedies. You know, some days, like last week, I sat down to do this program and I just couldn't do it. You know, some days I just can't dedicate my day, my time, my energy to these losers. They're traffickers, they're murderers, you know. A mock death ritual is that's a murder. That's not a necessary evil. It's just evil, okay, period. There are ways to go about doing things legally, you know, and none of this is legal. None of this is being done legally. So it is interesting because all of the effort that they go through to try to make me look crazy, and they have accumulated so much evidence that they actually have to hack my device and glitch my files and wreck my files so that they can try to continue to facilitate this torture chamber. So this is what they do when they've fully trafficked somebody. They torture them to death by means of blackmail, exploitation, technological harassment, all kinds of different stuff. But, you know, I've provided tons of evidence in regards to that. And so the street theater really speaks for itself. When you see an ER, it's a death threat. When you see somebody, you know, walking the street with a crutch, another death threat. I'm getting basically sexually harassed, and my children have been groomed via technology, also exploited. So that's why I'm also asking for the amount that I'm asking for, because it is not just me. I am not in this alone by any stretch of the measure. I have God on my side of all things. Okay, that's the only reason why my voice is unstoppable. That's why it's still going right now, okay? Because I have God on my side, the one thing the enemy will never have, period. And of course, I like to do these shows regularly. It's kind of not ideal for me to put this off. So, but anyways, watch out for lobbyists online. A lobbyist means a business owned or person who is employed and receives payment, or who contracts for economic consideration for the purpose of lobbying, or a person who is principally employed for governmental affairs by another person or governmental entity to lobby on behalf of that other person or governmental entity. I just want to make it a known fact. Since COVID-19 has started in 2020, I have not made one single penny. Not one single penny. So I don't take I'm not a lobbyist. I don't do this for the government. I don't do this for sponsors. I don't do this for attention, okay? Liars do that. Truth tellers aren't likely to sell truth. No, liars do that. People like myself tell the truth because it's the right thing to do. And morally, the Lord compels people like myself with genuinely whole hearts to do exactly what he's asked us to do, and that's speak his word. So watch out for the hustler, the online hustler looking to make an appearance discussing mind control as a way to exploit real victims or real targets. This is basically all you will see, because this gang stalking simulation is designed, this smear campaign is designed meticulously in such a way that you won't even get food stamps. Okay, unless you get on the bus and you go personally there to file. If you do it online, you won't get a connection. Okay, your device is it's completely infected with malware. That's why you're being electronically harassed. So, and stalked. Also too, that's why they're able to stalk you, because there's a malware on the device, okay? Tracking devices, of course, it's easy. The phone doesn't even have to be on. So, yeah, so all of the people, these Black Lives Matter influencers, they gotta go. These are hustlers looking to make an appearance, literally just trying to use somebody else's victimization as a way for them not only to generate attention, but also income. So you can say what you want to say about me, but all these black boys and all these black girls talking about gang stalking and mind control spirits, they gotta go. Their time is up. Bye. What are you still talking for? You need to stop. You've been asked to stop. You've been asked to stop. So in any case, what is the Lord wanting you to learn from the gang stalking simulation or from these evil mind controlling spirits? First of all, I just want to start by saying the Lord, God, is not going to send an evil person into your life. God doesn't send evil mind controlling spirits. The devil does that, okay? If God sends somebody, it'll be to enlighten you. And that's it. With that being said, scientifically and spiritually, karma cannot be manufactured. These people who think that they are manufacturing karma are so fucking stupid. It's not working out very well for them. Have you seen what they look like in the mirror? That's what I thought. So that is the only real true karma, by the way. And also, too, guilty conscience. People burdened with guilt are riddled with karma. Yeah, that's because they knew exactly what they were doing, and they did it anyways. So, and just like this manufactured karma, everything has a season, and this manufactured so-called karma will eventually come to an end. These gang stalkers are grown, and they know exactly what they are doing. They aren't babies. They're not small. They're not toddlers. They're not kids. They're not children or pets. Most of these mind-controlling spirits are lost in the system and have no real purpose or calling in life. Mind-controlling spirits are so weak, they need the occult mind control to give them orders, jobs, a narrative, and essentially a life or a living. Spirituality has taught me a long time ago that no one enters our lives for nothing or for no reason. What are they teaching you? What am I teaching you? What has God sent me here to teach you? Two things. You need to learn how to be more patient, because everybody doesn't come from the same walk of life as you do. Number two, what is God wanting you to learn from me? The only thing there is to learn from me, and that is to rise above this scapegoating practice, this occult ritualistic practice of scapegoating. And every single person that has showed that they aren't strong enough to do that one thing, They already reside in their own tailor-made prison and hell. And it doesn't get any more you don't get any more karma than that. You did that to yourself. Nobody did that to you. Unlike a real victim, unlike myself, unlike targets like myself, where you have hundreds and thousands of people following you every single where and doing the most to try to abuse you in a way that's easy to plausibly deny, to make you look crazy. That's what an evil mind controlling spirit in the flesh and in the 3D, that's what their job is. To facilitate a psychological gas chamber means to drive you crazy, to reframe it, to gaslight you, and then to make you look crazy. So that's what a psyop entails. So, but in any case, and of course they can't even do the one thing that they were asked to do. And when they do finally do that one thing, it's already too late. The damage has been done. So they're not taking any moral high ground by any stretch of the measure by calling somebody else racist. They are proving how racist and how much of a bigot they actually are. So in any case, let me try to stay on track here. Evil mind controlling spirits will manipulate you into believing they are heaven sent or sent by God. If somebody is sent by God, you will not need to be manipulated or told how to feel about them being sent by God, right? Again, if somebody is sent by God, their only job is to enlighten you. They're not going to hurt you. So, occult influencers online mimic the highest power and in doing so actually insult the voice of my God. Okay. All right, so I'm so glad we had this discussion, boo. Are they sent by God? If you even have to ask that question, if your mind is open the door to entertaining the idea that somebody can put in there the fact that they may or may not be, no, they're not. Okay, if you even have to entertain the idea of whether or not they were sent by God, the question is no. The answer is no, excuse me. The answer is no. Just for your information, God, my God, the one and only God, he doesn't send mind controlling spirits or evil people into your life. The devil does that. The enemy does that. Like I said, if God sends someone into your life, it will only be to enlighten you. But that's my opinion based on my own personal experience. Gang stalking is a spiritual attack and battle or cycle. It's the demon inside or the evil spirit behind the person's addiction and their own inner conflict of unhealed trauma. I talk about this in my book if you guys want to take more of a deeper dive into that and to how that's done. Okay, so that's all of their unhealed trauma is then projected onto their scapegoat, essentially. And so that's why they are abusers or murderers or rapists or pedophiles or whatever, because once they have done it and gotten away with it once, it changes their chemical reaction in their brain, and then they're never the same. So they'll constantly look for new, fresh supply, which is why they're always looking for targets to torture, like myself, and for people, and they're always looking for people to murder and kill, like justifiably. Although there's no justifying this. This isn't a necessary evil. You're just evil. You're just wrong. You were asked to rise above this. Did you do it? No. Why? Because you're weak. Period. Spend more time with family and trusted loved ones. Time is the most valued commodity. Money can be replaced, but time cannot. Evil mind controlling spirits want to isolate you as a way to control you. Evil mind controlling spirits are like viruses and infect or poison your mind. Like a virus, this spirit needs a host to survive. It needs your reaction and your attention in order to disempower you and bring you down to its level. Gang stalkers need to provoke you in order to get a reaction. Gang stalkers stalking is a psyop to distract starseeds and empaths from their soul's purpose and to potentially leave them without one. Some people may think the gang stalking simulation starts when or if they whistleblow, but truthfully, they were always being gang stalked by toxic family members, toxic friends, and other toxic relationships. The Lord, or your highest vibrational self, may remove these people from your life if they're abusive, soul-sucking energy vampires. Once they have fully sucked the life out of you, they can cause insanity. And it is an ongoing experiment. One of the experiments, or rituals, psychosadists practice is to take an ordinary sane person, cause insanity, and have a psychiatrist who was unknown to everybody diagnose schizophrenia or paranoia or a psychiatric illness. That is a successful outcome. The victims of this psychological attrition would spend the rest of their life in an asylum, suffering in pain, to death, and being tortured to death. But to the government scientists, that is a success. I guess once you have done the work to fully cut ties with all toxic people, loved ones, family, friends, relationships, and all the other toxic people like co-workers, etc., wreaking havoc in your life, this is when you may start to notice gang stalking, because the enemy was using these toxic people to control you, distract you, and derail you from your soul's purpose. Isolation is the key. Isolation is their weapon. Always take note of whoever is tapping, calling, texting, knocking, asking questions, walking nearby, seeking your attention somehow. Who comes around when it's quiet, they may be all in on it. I wouldn't second guess it. The overall goal is sabotage. If a target is a known self-saboteur, this program is truly most effective. To facilitate impoverishment is one of their goals. Poor health, to bring about a psychological collapse, to indoctrinate phobias and induce fear, to induce eating disorders, panic disorders, anxiety, depression, shock, synthetic mental illness, sleep deprivation, disorders, PTSD, synthetic social anxiety disorders, frequent panic attacks, artificial flashbacks, to accumulate synthetic triggers, to acquire synthetic phobias. No reaction is the most powerful and effective. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated by getting upset. This will trigger their anxiety and they will crank up the heat on you. So be ready and expect that as a form of retaliation, just in case. Because remember, them calling you crazy is a gaslight and a projection of their own inner conflict. The parts of them that they have yet to accept, the parts of them that they are still in denial about. Because in their minds, it's all you, and there's something wrong with everybody else, and it's never them. Don't ever forget it. That's a real psychological issue. That's crazy. To think that you're such a perfect angel, that you're never going to do anything, ever, that you're going to have to take responsibility for at some point, and the only thing you're ever going to do is blame, and guilt shift, and then like energy transfer. No. Oh yeah, that's why we're in this predicament as we are now. That's why the world is exactly where it stands. So no reaction is definitely the most powerful and effective. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated by getting upset. If you can, try to pay for ad-free listening, ad-free viewing, because what they will do to attack you is they will manipulate you through a commercial. Through the walls means through the walls. That means electronically. So that's what through the walls, that's what that entails. So if you want to trigger their anxiety, all you have to do is not allow yourself to be manipulated. This person is crazy and they're actually fighting with themselves. They're just looking for somebody to take it out on. It's an addiction. It really does boil down to an addiction. And when they cannot manipulate you, they will just crank up the heat and try harder. So expect that as a form of retaliation, and again, do not react. Silence is a form of violence. Silence is a weapon. And when you're dealing with this type of evil, it's the best weapon, because it doesn't matter what type of reaction you give them, it's going to manipulate you either way. And the silence actually triggers them massively because they're addicted to attention. The reason why I'm being attacked is because somebody doesn't want me getting attention. It doesn't really matter though, because I'm getting attention regardless. So, and again, it doesn't matter what my friends, my family, none of these people have ever become successful in life. Okay, it doesn't matter what they think or what they think they know about me.
I've never known
because they've been manipulated
method
by these psyops. I don't care, because I know my truth and I stand firmly on that. Not only that, but I have God on my side. I also know that God knows my truth. And I also know that the one that is attacking me is extremely successful. So it doesn't matter what all these nobodies think of me when all these somebodies fear me. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, thank you. So not even being worth the time is the most effective method. Practice deep breathing exercises if you cannot exercise. If you can't, if you're like me and you can't clear your mind in order to practice deep breathing exercises, what you want to do is go for a walk or exercise, because exercising will force your body to take in deep breaths. So, and to get oxygen and blood pumping in your body, which is very, very one of the things that they try to isolate targets into not being able to have is health. So the more you work on that, also the stronger you are, the more leverage you have over them and their manipulative tactics. So they want to manipulate the target into thinking and believing that their health is crap, and that's not true. So in any case, if you can't clear your mind, like I said, go for walks or exercise. It is not possible to be perfect, but try not to smoke and try drinking less. And of course, the more you practice, the easier it gets. Watch way less TV. Watch way less porn. These are all psyops. Watch way less news. These are all psyops that have been designed to attack you. These have all TV, porn, news, weapons. They're all weapons, okay? God wants to use targets for his greater purpose, and that calling will take targets far, far